so that everyone has a chance to succeed. But the right to vote is increasingly under attack. At the national level and across the country, efforts to limit who can vote, when they can vote, and where they can vote have fueled highly partisan, heated debates about the potential impact of such changes on senior citizens, young people, women of color, and low-income communities. Women, and especially women of color, are now a larger block of the voting population. Their ability to vote is vital to the health of our democratic society. And in turn, elected officials must respond to the needs of this increasingly engaged and highly influential voting bloc. So who will stand up to speak out about the disparities in our society? Who will accept the call to leadership and become involved participants? We stand in solidarity for the rights of women and their families to be safe, healthy, and protected. Thank you.
All right, y'all, the next person is not one to rest during her retirement from being a college professor. Oh no, she is one of the fiercest community activists we have here in St. Petersburg. She's the co-director of the Leif Neeson Foundation, which champions local, national, and international social justice causes of all types. She's unique among our speakers today because she is going to be looking at our action through a faith lens. Representing the Jewish community, here is Karen Lieberman.
Hello, St. Petersburg. This is amazing. I was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1950, 5 years after World War II and the Holocaust ended. As a young Jewish woman, I came of age surrounded by teenagers and adults who had tried to flee the Nazis. Jews had few places to go. From the early 1900s, there had been a strict Jewish quota for admittance to the U.S., which was very much enforced. Does that sound familiar? Because of that quota and other quotas worldwide, Jews who couldn't escape the Nazis were forced to live in concentration camps under slave labor conditions, watching loved ones march to gas chambers day after day. 6 million Jews were murdered for no other reason than for being Jewish. And the Nazis didn't stop there. 250,000 others were murdered just for being physically or mentally handicapped, having incurable disease, or for being gay, or for being a gypsy, a trade unionist, a socialist, and more. Today, millions of people once again are fleeing war-torn countries, seeking safe haven in our own country. Undocumented immigrants are threatened with deportation on an unprecedented scale because of the crassness of the new administration. People who have either left their homeland fleeing war, such as in Syria, or those seeking a better life, or those who already live and want to remain here. These are women's issues. These are human rights issues. They need our protection. These are issues for everyone, for people of faith. In Leviticus we read, when a stranger resides with you in your land, you shall not do him wrong. The stranger who resides with you shall be to you as the native among you, and you shall love him as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Can we turn our backs on those seeking safety, whether from within or without? We We today, all of us here today, have a responsibility to take on the new administration to ensure there are no mass deportations. And that there is no registry based on religion. The hideous idea of a Muslim registry is reminiscent of the yellow stars Jews were forced to wear in Nazi Germany. We cannot stand idly by and let this administration come for anyone. I know I can't stand idly by. Will you? I want to close with a poem by the German Lutheran pastor Martin Niemöller, imprisoned in Dachau concentration camp from 1937 to 1945. He was imprisoned solely for speaking out against the Nazi regime. First they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the press, and I did not speak out because I was not of the press. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. Stand up! Be counted! Let your voices be heard!
Thank you, Karen. And now we have someone who has dedicated her life's work to clean energy solutions, to making addressing climate change a top priority for us and for our elected leaders. She's the founding chair of the Florida Commission on the Status of Women, and she has been the Florida director of the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy since 2013. Please welcome Susan Glickman.
What a beautiful crowd. Thank you. I wake up every day deeply concerned about how we as a society are increasing the buildup of greenhouse gas emissions, which is undoubtedly altering the climate of the planet. The American Lung Association has a slogan: when you can't breathe, nothing else matters. If we damage the climate of the planet, little else will matter. Sadly, we've known about this for a very long time. In 1965, Lyndon Baines Johnson, 3 weeks after his inauguration, said, "This generation has altered the composition of the atmosphere on a global scale through a steady increase in carbon dioxide from the burning of fossil fuels." We've known about this since 1965. Yet, just last week, the headline on the Tampa Bay Times was "Earth Hits Heat Record," making 2016 the 3rd straight year where we set record temperatures. When is enough enough? The good news is that we're seeing plummeting costs for clean energy technologies. And there was a world agreement to limit dangerous carbon pollution made last year in Paris. But just yesterday, we went from a climate action plan to a plan to revive America's coal industry. We have many frightening moves in the wrong direction. The head of ExxonMobil is being considered to be the top U.S. diplomat. It seems that the best qualification to be a cabinet member is to be a climate denier. We have no room for error. Our planet is fragile. We must fight for the health of our planet. Every person, every community, and indigenous people deserve clean air, clean water, and the right to access and enjoyment of our public lands. Our environment and our climate must be protected. Our land and natural resources must not be exploited for corporate greed or gain, especially at the risk of our public safety and health. Together, we must stand up to big industries and political ideologies that would harm our people and our planet. Thank you for being here, but democracy is not a spectator sport. Eleanor Roosevelt said it. It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. Now the work began. You must stand together. The time is now. Join me.
We have one more speaker before Suzanne comes back up to tell us a little bit about how the march is going to go. And before I do that, I want to mention a few elected officials who have joined us. We have our U.S. Member of Congress, Representative Charlie Crist, in our midst. We have Hillsborough County Commissioner Patricia Kemp. We've heard already from our St. Pete Mayor Rick Kreisman and our City Council members. Coming over from Gulfport, we have Mayor Sam Henderson and Vice Mayor Michael Fridovich. And Florida State Representative, the Honorable Ben Diamond. Now our final speaker, you know how you save the person who's the most fiery for last. I think you're gonna like her. She's a labor organizer. She knows how to talk hard. She's with the Florida Public Services Union, SEIU. I am so sorry, I forgot Daryl Rousseau, who also is here, Senator. And also, husband of Angela Rousseau, who was our speaker a few moments ago. Thank you for letting me know, and sorry about that, Senator. As I was saying, this young woman, she got her start in activism at Rollins College. She is a rising star in the social change movement. In fact, her email address, socialchangeagent@gmail.com. Or something like that, I know. She wears a t-shirt. She wears a t-shirt a lot. And here's what it says. I am the manifestation of my ancestors' dreams. Please welcome Ashley Green.
Thank you so much. I'm a millennial, and so I need y'all to do me one quick favor. I just need y'all to put your hands up. I gotta take a selfie. Yes. All right. Thank you. It's truly an honor to be with so many committed and dedicated people today. They say it's 20,000 out here. It looks like a heck of a lot more. And this couldn't be happening at a more critical moment. I'm very proud to call myself a labor organizer, but I'm even prouder to call myself a dream defender. Ooh, something happening. All right. Black Lives Matter or microphone? I don't know. I heard both. Louder. Okay, I'll yell. So like I said before, my name is Ashley Green. I'm a proud labor organizer, but I'm an even prouder dream defender. Squad. Dream Defenders is an organization that was founded out of the uprising of youth following the murder of Trayvon Martin in 2012. And what we work to do is dismantle institutions in our communities of over-policing, mass incarceration, and inadequate schools that we believe trap our black and brown youth in a cycle of poverty and prisons. Now, while we're dismantling these institutions, we do so through the lens of simultaneously trying to dismantle capitalism, white supremacy, imperialism, and heteropatriarchy in our society, because we know that these are the institutions that were built out of these things. I say this because we are here today in rejection of heteropatriarchy, in rejection of the imperialism that has dominated the electoral process for far too long. But I also say this as a part of an organization that in 2015 had to start a women's faction because we recognized that while we held the principle of dismantling heteropatriarchy, our actions weren't living up to that in practice. And so we created this women's faction to hold the organization accountable for who we said we wanted to be. I don't say this anecdotally because I want a pat on the back. I say this because we're in a moment where we truly have to reflect on what it is we care about, what are our values, what are our principles, and what are we willing to do to defend them. Principles without practice are worthless. Our humanity is under attack. Our dignity has been under attack. But we know that this started long before Donald Trump became our president. Our humanity was under attack when immigrant children came home to empty houses, only to find out days later that their families had been deported without warning. Our humanity was under attack when India Clark was murdered in 2015, a black trans woman, simply for existing in her full truth. Our humanity was under attack when 3 black girls from St. Petersburg drowned in a pond as police stood by after being chased in a stolen car. And regardless of how you feel about that the first move by the sheriff wasn't to call their families, but was to print out their mugshots and make you feel like they deserved the death that they got. That's our humanity under attack. Our humanity is under attack right now in North Dakota, where women are getting blasted with water cannons in freezing cold temperatures for defending our human right to clean water. Our humanity has been under attack, and what we must do now is resist with every fiber of our being. We must defend the values and principles that we believe in. If we want a world without misogyny, without degradation, without war, without poverty, then we can't just be principled. We have to act. So I'm proud to be in the streets with you all today. I'm carrying with me the spirit of Ella Baker, who taught us that we who believe in freedom cannot rest until it's won. I'm proud to be in the streets with you today, but I know that the real work begins after the march. The real work begins when we join the organizations that are here who are committed to the fight of liberation and justice. The real work begins when we're willing to argue with our racist uncle and auntie over the dinner table. Because it's not okay for them to dehumanize us, for them to tell us that we're worthless. The work begins after we get out the streets. But while we in the streets, let's be loud, let's be proud, let's carry the spirit of resistance and freedom. I'm honored to be with you today. Visit dreamdefenders.org to find out more information how you can get involved with what we're doing. Next weekend we'll be in Childs Park giving out free books and free breakfast, while also collecting water to send to the residents of Flint, Michigan, whose children still haven't been born into knowing what clean water tastes like. Thank you so much.
All right, you guys, it's almost 1 o'clock. Listen, a few things I want you to think about. Before, there are some water stations around. You can fill up your water bottle. This is a phone number. Get your phone out. If you see someone who's in distress, who's been hurt, injured, or is ill, put this phone number in and we will be able to get someone over there in a little cart right away. The number is, for the first aid, 727 902-5485. Again, 727-902-5485. And you can text or call. Look at your shoelaces.